Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Dylan James. I'm a mindset coach that loves to specifically focus on relationships. However, today I'm going to be talking about something that's a bit more general that goes into multiple areas of success within your life. And whether we're looking at career, whether we're looking at relationships, whether we're looking at social life, one thing that I have come to really understand and learn that there are not just one thing, actually, I'm going to bring up a few things that go into being able to sustain success, but also create the dynamics that you desire. The first and most important component that I have noticed is the ability to allow yourself to be seen. And these are beliefs that you can begin to adjust immediately. I'm allowing myself to be seen. I'm normalizing the experience of being heard and honored. It's becoming easier for me to show the most authentic parts of myself. I'm becoming more confident with how I'm showing up, with how I'm speaking, with how I'm presenting myself. It's becoming easier for me to anticipate that people are going to like me, embrace me, and welcome me into different environments. It's becoming easier for me to see myself being embraced in different environments. I'm realizing that the more authentic I am, the easier it is for me to maintain the results I desire in my life. I'm realizing that I no longer have to hide any aspect of myself in order to create what I desire. Those are a few examples, but the reason why this is important is because when it comes to success, if there is any aspect of you that fears being seen, then you're going to really shy away from relationships, social dynamics, or opportunities where you have to show up as your authentic self. And to be honest, we want to be doing that in each area of our life, right? Not only that, another central component that I've noticed that plays a huge role in creating success sustainably in your life is your ability to uphold boundaries. Okay, because you are setting an example and you're showing people how to treat you based on what you believe about yourself. This is what Neville Goddard means by when he's saying your self-concept creates the world in which you live. People are just messengers to that. Do not try to change them. Create a change within yourself, and they will confirm that change. So if we can show up knowing that we deserve to be seen, knowing that we deserve to be embraced, knowing that we're welcomed in different environments and we're able to embrace the success that's coming into our life, then the next thing is making sure that as we're embracing that success, we're setting an example that is sustainable. And so when you're thinking about that, what I just brought up there regarding Neville Goddard, create a change within your self-concept means you're going to show up differently. You're going to respond differently. You're setting an example. And if we really are grounded in what we know we deserve, we've normalized being able to create those results in our life. We allow ourselves to be seen. We've normalized being heard and loved and embraced for our authentic self. That means there's going to be moments where we may need to say no, we may need to place boundaries, we may need to remove ourselves, and we're doing that not from a place of loss or rejection, but because we understand that our most authentic self, the version of ourself that sustains the things that we want, is going to be self-honoring and self-respecting and be able to show up in that way that sets that example the first time they see something they don't like. And so when it comes to beliefs about boundaries, those are things like it's becoming easier for me to uphold boundaries and say no because I only create respectful dynamics. I'm realizing that the more I honor and respect myself, the more I'm going to create respecting and honorable dynamics. I'm realizing that I can say no and still get what I want. I'm realizing that I don't have to do anything that I don't want to do in order to create what I do want. I know that's a little bit wordy. Okay, you might reword that one a bit, but you get the gist of what I'm saying here. Okay, you don't have to compromise any aspect of yourself or act in inauthentic ways in order to create, attract in, and sustain what you want. This is kind of a bonus point. The last thing that I noticed that goes into really creating and sustaining success is the relationship that you have with mistakes. So, as we're stepping into this authentic version of ourselves, as we're being able to uphold boundaries and create respectful dynamics, that doesn't mean that mistakes might not happen. Misunderstandings may happen. You may stumble. We're not going to expect that. But if we really heavily identify with our mistakes, then chances are we're going to spiral out and perpetuate making more mistakes or kind of go into a catastrophe mindset that doesn't allow for us to produce the solutions that we desire. We want to maintain a belief system that allows for us to continually grow and level up so that we can not only maintain the things that we want and attract them in, but we can grow them. We can constantly expand, which means you want to have a balanced belief system with your ability to handle challenges. Okay, it's becoming easier for me to overcome challenges because I believe in my ability to create solutions. You want to have a balanced belief system with mistakes. I'm realizing that it is okay to make mistakes because I always choose to learn from what occurred. It's becoming easier for me to confront challenges and adjust myself quickly. It's becoming easier for me to look at the mistakes that I make and learn from them rapidly. Essentially, you want to get into a belief system where you're showing up as your most authentic self. You're allowing yourself to be seen. You're able to uphold boundaries and say no when you need to and set a positive example for the dynamics you're creating in your life. And then when mistakes occur, we're not dwelling on that or getting stuck on them. We're able to really push through challenges in an effective way where we're constantly evolving and growing with each, experience that we're having. If you can get these three things in alignment, you're going to be so happy, okay? Especially with non-specific dynamics you're creating, specific dynamics in your career, okay, in your romantic relationships, in your social life. This is going to set a very solid example in your life of who you are, what you deserve, and your ability to really handle anything and still come out on top. So, I hope you took something away from today's video. You deserve to be seen. You deserve to be heard. And actually, I have one last point with that. Let's just finish off on this because it just came to me. I did want to talk about this. Those of you that are business owners or wanting to put content online or get into a new career opportunity, it doesn't even have to be, entrepreneurial style. Okay. The reason why adopting beliefs surrounding allowing yourself to be seen, okay, and stepping into your authentic self is important is because that's going to prevent you from having those mental blocks where you are really worried about other people's opinions or projections, and that stops you from being able to show up and follow through with the things you want to create in your life. Meaning, like, let's say you want to post something on social media, but you find that your mind is so worried about what people will think, what they're going to say. You're focused on the idea of maybe negative comments. What your brain is doing in that moment is searching for evidence of what you believe and using those examples as reasons as to why you shouldn't show up and do this thing. There's aspects of you that are afraid to be seen. And so your mind is focusing on external things, okay, that perpetuate that fear of being seen. When we can remove that, and even in interviews, right? Whether you don't, again, this could go into creating a different career, right? Maybe you're really worried about other people's opinions and you have a really hard time talking in interviews, right? And you're afraid of people's judgment. When you can normalize allowing yourself to be seen and allowing yourself to receive the things you want to create within your life, normalizing being heard and stepping into that authentic version of yourself, you're not going to have those fragmented focuses. You're going to be able to show up in a very solid, mature, confident way and really create the results that you desire in a sustainable manner. So, like I was just saying before I brought up that point, it's okay. You deserve to be seen. And if people judge you, who cares? If people try to put you down, who cares? At least you're being your authentic self and you're doing the things you want to do and you're believing in yourself. Okay? You can create the things you want in your life, but you have to allow yourself to be seen. Okay? And you deserve it. All right. Love you all so much. I hope you have a beautiful day. I'll see you later. Bye.